Welcome to this episode of Campus Connections. I'm here at Fuller Student Center. I just want to learn more about student life and services and the leadership programs that they have. Tell us about what the Office of Student Life and Leadership is about and what you do.
Here at Student Life and Leadership, we really try to create an environment that is inclusive to all of our students. We always say to students, if you have questions, always come in, because if we don't have the answer, we will find it for you. And then I think another important part of what we do is we have fun, right? We bring the fun to campus, but while we kind of secretly snipe in there some leadership as well. So a great example Katelyn's given me before is for, trivia night. That might just sound like a fun night, but if you go by yourself, you've got to network, you've got to introduce yourself. So, subtly we do throw in those learning opportunities as well. But overall, we really want the students to know that they have a home away from home here.
With Mass Educate, we're expecting a record number of students. So how are you preparing for this and what programming do you have?
Yeah, so I think we really do our traditional historic programming. So right at the beginning of each semester, we always want to welcome our incoming students, our returning students as well. So we do something called Welcome Week, and we have various opportunities, resources, and social engagement opportunities for our students. So we'll be out on the main quad if Mother Nature allows us, and if you have any questions those first 2 days of class, the students can go right to that pop-up tent, and we'll answer anything they need.
You talk about reaching out to those students, so how do you do the outreach to the students? How do you get them to know what you do and get them engaged in the campus?
We do a lot of different outreach, and we really try to meet them where they're at, because we understand that they're going from class to work to picking up the kids and everything in between that life has to offer. So we send a weekly email out on Sunday nights. We have our new engagement platform, Wyvern Connect, where we put all the event details, not only for our office, but for pretty much any office that is programming geared to students. You can find the information there. We are going to get out into the community this fall. We're going to be tabling, so just on a weekly basis, just having various handouts, talking to students.
So we also have bulletin boards campus-wide. So if you're ever looking for different events, resource fairs, Heritage Month celebrations that are up and coming, check the bulletin boards and also our digital signage screens. All that information's there. So electronically, in person, face-to-face, there's so many different ways you can get that information.
And I just heard you mention Wyvern Connect,
Yes.
and I know that's a new tool, and some of the people watching this might not know what it does, what it's about.
So Wyvern Connect is a engagement platform, and so not only can you find all of the event information for the various programs, you can also find quick links on there. So if you're looking for Counseling and Wellness's website on the QCC.edu, there's a link on the home page. Important announcements, so when there's scholarships available, there's alerts right on the front screen. And not only is our office on there, but also our student affairs leadership team offices are on there. And so for students who are interested in finding their community, whether it be through identity in our affinity groups, academics, or social, Katelyn has been the advisor for gaming and anime, and we've had a bunch of fun with them. And then lastly, the newest thing that we're going to be doing this fall is we're going to be using it to track and check in our students, which is pretty cool. So there will be an app. All students will need to do is log into Wyvern Connect, make their profile. They can save what they call an event pass to their wallet on their phone or take a screenshot. It will work. And then when they say come into Fuller, all they have to do is open up that pass. We scan it, they go in, and then on the way out, they scan it to check out, and boom, we know who's come, who's gone, and we can do further outreach to them as well. So I think that's going to be a really cool thing. We're going to be doing it at events as well. So the biggest thing we want people to know is that for everyone, faculty, staff, anyone with a .qcc email can access Wyvern Connect and come join us at all our events.
Can you talk a little about the activities that you do and some of the clubs that you support?
Yeah, so the beauty of student organization and co-curricular opportunities is they're fluid. So the Office of Student Life and Leadership really adapts semester to semester in order to meet the current needs of our students. So this fall, we've really been kind of focusing on our affinity-based student organizations and our social student organizations. And those range from Muslim Student Association to Christian Fellowship to gaming and anime.
If students have an idea for a program, so for example, I met a student at a leadership conference that I hosted here. She was a musician and she wanted to do a variety show. Well, I said, let's do it. And so we had our first QCC variety show because of this one student. Katelyn did an entire D&D, Dungeons and Dragons, for those who may not know, event because a student that she had met said, I love D&D and I know a bunch of folks on this campus love it too. Can we do a program around it? Even if you just want to do a one-off program to bring your interest to the wider community, we are here and we'll help you do it.
I heard you had like a special magician in one of these.
We
Oh,
did.
I heard
It was
he was
amazing. Really sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand.
Yeah.
We didn't know he had this in him.
I
It was a
know.
great surprise, President Pedraja. It was great to see you as our magician.
Yeah. You know, I keep hearing you talk about student life and leadership. On top of that, we all know from studies, national studies that show that having the students be engaged on the campus is important for their success. So can you talk a little bit more about those aspects of your work?
Yeah, absolutely. We plan a lot of fun stuff and we are the fun people, but the nature of our work means we get to know them on a deep level. And especially our students here who are going through so much really need that support. And so one of the ways we do that is through here, the Fuller Student Center. The students have come together. We have regulars now. I call them my Fuller kids, and they're a Fuller family. And, you know, they made a contract once because someone wasn't going to class and they weren't going to have that. So they actually made a contract that the students signed saying they were going to go to class. And I hung it up on my wall to be like, I support this too. We're going to do this together. So I think that's huge. And in the sense of leadership, you know, we will be rolling out a formal leadership program this fall. But we've done a lot of leadership work that people might not think that, you know, it's not glaring in the face. And that's through our executive boards. We also offer paid leadership positions, which is, I think, very important for our student demographic. And that's done through a position called an orientation leader. So as you know, in the summers and in January, we do new student orientation. This past summer, we have 10 students that were paid a good wage to come and welcome our new students, help us run the program. And I mean, we truly couldn't do it without them. Even to our federal work study students, we always say to them, we want you to learn what it's like to work in an office environment here so that when you get out there, that learning curve is minimum and you will be successful. So we really focus on the transferable skills.
Something we're part of is the Community College Student Leadership Association, and that encompasses all the Massachusetts community colleges. So every fall, we actually get to bring a small group of students to that conference, and they get to meet other students from other community colleges and see what other campuses are doing, and then they build that great network across the state of Massachusetts.
What do you want the students to know about the work that you do about student life and leadership?
I think the most important thing, and we talked about this before we met today, is that we want the students to know that this is a safe space for them. Yes, Fuller Student Center, but anywhere that Katelyn and I or our team is at. That it is safe for them to come up and unload anything, de-stress, whatever it may be, that they're safe with us, that they have people here, not just us, but specifically us, that want to help them. You know, I know that they might feel like I spam them with emails every Sunday, but if you open those emails, they'll see all of the opportunities that we have for them. And I think once they see that, they would really be like, oh wow, this is above and beyond type of institution, because we are. I mean, I've worked at multiple institutions, and I must say, I have never seen the amount of support services that I have seen at QCC. So I think I want to get that out to them. I really want them to know not just what we do, but what QCC does.
I think a lot of us, especially that stay in higher ed, we leave and we miss those days when we were on that campus and had everything at our fingertips. So really take advantage of every opportunity of resource you have.
Yeah.
And really be your voice for your student body, because at the end of the day, we're going to start making changes and we're going to start pushing things forward if the students are providing us with their feedback.
If any faculty and staff feels that the student needs student life, tell them to come see Ash and Katelyn, because we'll be here.
Yes, we love visitors at the Fuller Student
Yes.
Center. We love when the energy's here. I think it's important to our students for them to know it's never too late to get involved or get
No.
engaged. So yes, if it's your first week here at QCC, definitely look at all the events and opportunities. But if it's your third semester at QCC, still look out for all those amazing opportunities and resources. And if you're returning after 15 years, we're still here and we still want you to get involved and get engaged. So reach
Yeah.
out and let us know what you'd like.
For many of our students, they might think, oh, this student life and leadership, that's for like the young people that just got out of high school. I'm a parent, I'm working 2 jobs.
Same.
So it's like, no, this is for you too.
Mhm.
You can be 18 or 80,
Yeah.
but you
Yes.
still have a place in student life.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And that's why we said it's so flexible and fluid.
We really strive to collaborate with every office here on campus. So we work with Michelle, who's our parenting student navigator. We're working with academic advising. We work with our online learning coaches. So we're making sure that we're really serving our students and bringing those programs that are going to make that big impact. And I think the Office of Student Life and Leadership is very fortunate because, yes, we help run, in general, new student orientation. And then we also become the floor marshals at commencement. So we
Yeah.
really, truly get to see them from the first day to their last day at here at
Yeah.
QCC. And it's beautiful
It's
because you
amazing.
just make so many wonderful connections with your students. And when they make it to that stage, the energy and the happiness they have really makes every day here
Yeah.
at QCC worth it.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's faculty and staff out there who says, hey, I'd like to help out. Well, how can I help? How can I get involved with some of the events, activities, or supporting students? What would you say to them?
I can take this
Okay.
one. So anytime Office of Student Life and Leadership is looking for assistance, we're sending out an email to our faculty and staff. We want everybody to be involved, especially in those beginning of those weeks where our students are full force here on campus. So we also ask our faculty and staff, check your emails, check that QCC family announcement, because that's where we're going to be reaching out. We reach out for people to help volunteer at our information table, to sign up to be at the Student Opportunities and Resource Fair. There's so many ways faculty and staff can get involved. And if they have an initiative that they want to kind of bring to the students, make a meeting with me and Ashlee.
Well, thank you so much
Thank you.
for participating in this discussion. I think our audience learned quite a bit about student life and leadership.
Yes.
And about the two of you have the programs and how they can help our students connect. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Campus Connections. To our audience, I hope that you take advantage of connecting with student life and leadership, that you support our students. All of us together make a difference to those students as they come into our campus.